Hello, second graders, and welcome back to Story Time with Mrs. Buddy. Today we have a book called Big Moon Tortilla by Joy Cowley. It's illustrated by Dyanne Strongbow. This week we're starting our realistic fiction week, so I want you to think about whether the problems that the girl has in the story could happen in real life or not. By the time Marta Enos had finished her homework, the sky was orange with sunset and a fussing wind was blowing across the desert. Marta Enos opened her window and looked outside. In the cookhouse, Grandmother was making tortillas for the church supper. She slapped them into large circles and tossed them onto the iron plate over the mesquite fire. Grandmother's Big Moon tortillas were the best in the world. The cookhouse is in the kitchen. What do you notice about the cookhouse? The head of Marta Enos was filled with the knowing of fresh tortillas. Oh, that sweet, crisp, little bit burnt smell. It went to Marta's stomach, which rumbled and growled, and then on down to her feet, making her toes twitch toward the cookhouse. The legs of Marta Enos would not wait another minute. They were in such a hurry to run to the cookhouse that they knocked over Marta's table, and that is when a disaster happened. The homework papers, with their neat writing and beautiful drawings, went out the window and onto the breath of the fussing wind. Why do you think the author calls that a fussing wind? The wind huffed the papers high into the air. Then with a little cough, it spread them over the village. The legs of Marta Enos were sorry for their mistake, and they ran out to chase the homework papers, which slipped and slid like kites without string. But the dogs, too, were chasing. Leaping into the air, they barked to each other, "A game, a game!" In no time at all, the beautiful homework papers were torn and chewed into trash. The second disaster happened when Marta tried to pull a page away from a puppy. Her glasses fell off, and she stepped on them. One arm of her glasses broke in half. She did not smell tortillas anymore. Her head was filled up to her eyes with grief, and tears as hot as chili peppers. Ruined homework, broken glasses. Marta Enos ran to her grandmother. Why do you think she went running to her grandmother? Grandmother left her tortillas and sat down, as big as a bed and warm from cooking. As she smoothed Marta's hair with her floured hands, she said, "Hush, hush. If you cry so much, you'll put out the fire. The dogs ate my homework, and I can't see to do any more." Marta sobbed. Grandmother rocked her. "Little problems," she said. "Too small for a big rainstorm. We'll repair your eyeglasses." But the tears of Marta Enos still ran through her eyes and nose and made hiccups into her throat. What does Grandmother mean when she's talking about a rainstorm? So Grandmother sang to her an old healing song, and with the healing song there was a story. When we have a problem, we must choose what we will be. Sometimes it is good to be a tree, to stand up tall in the desert and look all ways at once. Sometimes it is best to be a rock, to sit very still, seeing nothing and saying nothing. Sometimes when you have a problem, you have to be a strong mountain lion, fierce and ready to fight for what is right. Sometimes the wisest thing is to be an eagle and fly. When the eagle is up high, it sees how small the earth is. It sees how small the problem is, and it laughs and laughs. So Grandmother suggests 4 ways to deal with a problem. Which one do you think Marta's going to choose? Grandmother wound some tape around the arm of the glasses. She put the glasses back on the nose and ears of Marta Enos. That should be okay until we get them fixed, she said. Now, 1 tortilla before supper? Grandmother pinched a ball of dough and slapped it between her hands. Flip-flap, flip-flap, flip-flap. When it was as big and pale as a rising full moon, she dropped it onto the iron plate above the red-hot coals of the fire. Ah, the smell as the tortilla bubbled and browned. I have decided, said Marta Enos, her legs doing a tortilla dance. I am going to be the eagle. Grandmother nodded. That is very wise, she said, turning the tortilla over. Fly high and laugh. Then come back and do your homework. Why do you think Marta Enos decided to be the eagle? And at the end, think also about what Marta learned about ways to deal with problems. This is realistic fiction. It is a made-up story, but everything in this story could happen. See you later.